Hey everyone, welcome to the show. So, as I'm sure you guys all know by now, Project 2025 is basically a roadmap for Donald Trump. So, should he win a second term in office, this is what the hard right, the alt right, extremists in the country want him to do. This 900-page wish list, which is essentially what it is, this was drafted by the extremist Christian nationalists at the Heritage Foundation. So Democrats have been rightfully hanging it around Donald Trump's neck. And it not only proposed national abortion bans with no exceptions for rape and incest, but it also had detailed plans to outlaw emergency contraception and abortion pills. They also talked about surveilling women to try to prevent them from traveling to get an abortion. I mean, it's loaded. It's not just about abortion. It's just about extremism across the board and just giving complete, total oligarchic control to the corporations in this country, just wiping out any oversight by the government whatsoever. And if there was any doubt that the Republican Party just wants to control women, this Project 2025 manifesto made it absolutely crystal clear. So Trump has been reportedly pretty livid that this whole thing was successfully being tied to him and his candidacy. And he is such a bad liar. He said in the same sentence, as he posted on his failing social media site about it, he said in the same post, "Oh, I don't know anything about it. I don't know anything about Project 2025. I don't know why they're saying it has to do with me." And then literally later in the same post, he said, "Oh, I disagree with some of what's in Project 2025. How can you disagree if you don't know what's in it? If you know nothing about it, how can you disagree? So stupid. Anyway, we all now know, based on reporting by the Rolling Stone news outlet, Trump is apparently freaking out, or he was, and was totally pissed off behind the scenes. So evidently, while Trump was publicly claiming that, "Oh, I have no knowledge of this, I don't know anything about Project 2025, behind the scenes and in private, he was freaking out. He was referring to Project 2025 authors as, quote, lunatics. And Trump apparently complained about how they keep pushing unpopular abortion policies. So this is not going to go over well with his evangelical right base. And the connection to Trump was just undeniable. I mean, he can say all he wants. He has nothing to do with it. But so many of these Project 2025 authors were former Trump White House employees. They were his allies, or still are. And sources told Rolling Stone that Trump has been, quote, directly briefed by confidants and close aides about Project 2025's substance and progress. And one source said that Trump essentially, quote, birthed Project 2025. Even one of the contributors to Project 2025 told Rolling Stone, quote, Trump can try to distance himself from this, but 70 to 80% of the people who wrote the book are going to be in his second administration, the cabinet, undersecretaries, assistant secretaries, the senior advisors. They're all going to be the foot soldiers in a second Trump administration. You can't look at this constellation of organizations and people without seeing that they're all his people. And Trump's disastrous VP pick, J.D. Vance, he wrote the foreword for a book that's coming out. It's a upcoming project that's based on Project 2025. It is the Project 2025 book. Vance wrote in this foreword, at least in part, quote, we are now all realizing that it's time to circle the wagons and load the muskets. In the fights that lay ahead, these ideas are an essential weapon. Project 2025 director, though, a guy named Paul Dans, he claimed that Democrats were, quote, vilifying Project 2025, and then making the fake attachment to President Trump. He also said, quote, "What Democrats have said about Project 2025 is probably the greatest misinformation campaign since, I don't know, the Russia hoax." Yeah, well, guess what? Paul Dance was just forced to resign. And the Daily Beast says that his departure was due to pressure coming from the Trump campaign. According to the Daily Beast, and a source that they have within the campaign, Trump's campaign manager, Chris LaCivita, quote, "put the screws to Dan's." And in a statement, Trump's campaign warned, quote, "reports of Project 2025's demise would be greatly welcomed and should serve as notice to anyone or any group trying to misrepresent their influence with President Trump and his campaign. It will not end well for you." So they're not just trying to distance themselves from it, they're trying to kill it because they know that it's such a drag on Trump's presidential campaign and how bad it's making him look. And now the Washington Post reported that the group behind Project 2025 is ending its work because of the bad press that this has caused for Trump. Now, I don't buy it. I don't buy it for a second. That's what they claim, though. And some of the biggest Trump humpers around are now pissed off at Trump's campaign staff. So they're not blaming him, they're blaming his staff and saying, you know, oh, they're just trying to undermine him. And yes, this was a Trump project. And yes, this is something that we need to do and enact. It is so fun to watch the right on right violence. It really is. So here's an example for you. Trump minion Mike Cernovich, he posted online, he slammed Trump's campaign managers. He's essentially accusing them of being never Trump Republicans and saying, oh, they're trying to just destroy him. So here's one. In a Twitter post, Cernovich wrote, quote, "Project 2025 people were around in 2016 and 2020, loyal to the end. In 2021, Chris LaCivita wanted Trump indicted for treason because of Jan 6. That's why Chris is pushing out Project 2025 staffers. He's preparing a coup against Trump." In another post, Cernovich said, quote, "Project 2025 was former Trump staffers who wanted to avoid the 2017 personnel problems. Trump's campaign is managed by a lifelong Bush loyalist who wanted A.G. Paxton in prison and blamed Trump for J6. Jobs are being promised to never Trumpers. Had to push aside 2025. So the case he's making is that, oh, see, if Trump had the right people in place during his last term, he could have gotten everything done that he wanted to do. But, you know, all of these political people who, you know, all of these lifelong, career people in government who don't have any loyalty to Trump, who aren't MAGA, they blocked him. And so now this Project 2025, as it lays out in here, we're going to get rid of all the people who aren't sufficiently loyal, and we're going to put loyalists in instead so that Trump can just run roughshod over the government and the people of the country and do whatever the hell he wants. So that was Cernovich. And then the editor-in-chief for the right-wing site called The Federalist, she also posted on Twitter, and she said, quote, "Trump world bows down to left-wing media lies and keeps signaling he doesn't want his most loyal foot soldiers who kept with him even when very few others did, or their conservative ideas in his next administration. Interesting." Really? Yeah. Okay. So yeah, Trump world bows down. No, this is Trump himself. This is Trump calling the shots and saying, get this away from me. So there were other posts by other people on the right complaining about the move. But like I said, this is just yummy for my tummy. I just love this. It's delicious infighting. And if Trump thinks this is going to end this controversy around Project 2025, his ties to this psycho group and these vile ideas, he is just wrong as usual. But these people, they will never blame Trump. They blame everyone around him. They do not get that he sees this as a political loser, and that's why he's trying to distance himself from it. It is not his campaign staff. It is not his campaign managers. It's him. He knows. National abortion ban, bad idea. The majority of the country, even Republicans, even conservatives, are against just a flat out national abortion ban, no exceptions for any reason, and forcing women to give birth to, and children, young girls, to give birth to their rapist babies. So these people are clueless. I guess they just want to lose. They honestly have bought in to that fairy tale about them being the silent majority, quote unquote, in our country. I mean, it is such BS. It is such BS. Look at any poll. And if you don't believe in polls, go look at what's going on in Florida right now. The abortion issue is coming up on their ballot in November. It is going to be put on their ballot, and it has overwhelming support in a very now red state. I mean, Florida is no longer a swing state by any means. It is hardcore red. It is magenta. And so, if people there, the majority, do not want these extremist policies, wake up, MAGA. Just wake the fuck up. So anyway, I will let you know when I hear more. But again, just love it. I just love the circular firing squad on the right. All right. Thank you all so much for watching and listening. Please like, please share, and subscribe. Please donate if you can. Love you all. Take care. Talk with you soon.